Ito, a rookie police officer, found a young girl wandering the street. Approaching her, he knelt down, asking if she was alright and if she was lost. As he spoke to the girl, her eyes began to sparkle and her demeanor shifted from concern to starstruck as she looked at him. She hesitated to speak at first, but eventually spoke, saying that she loved him. Gaining confidence as the feeling grew within her, she spoke loudly and clearly that she wanted him to be her wife. Please. Ito froze, unsure if he heard the girl correctly. He thought that she just made a mistake and laughed it off, saying that maybe he'll consider it when she's older. What he failed to notice is that the girl, Hayasaka, had a determined look on her face, and her eyes were locked onto him. At 14, Hayasaka approached Ito again, claiming to be lost. Her eyes were locked onto his face as she again clearly and calmly told him that she loved him. He ignored it, telling Hayasaka that she's a bit old to be claiming that she's lost, and chuckled at the situation, believing it to be a joke. However, as she got older and taller, Hayasaka kept approaching Ito, confessing to him over and over. At 17, she approached him yet again, saying nothing else but "I love you," with the same starstruck and enamored expression on her face. He was feeling awkward that she had kept pursuing him, and slightly surprised with how fast she was growing too. After 10 years of chasing Ito, Hayasaka became a police officer like Ito, and cornered him in the station. This time, still with the same infatuation as all the times previously, Hayasaka confessed again, expressing her love and telling Ito that he has to keep his promise and be her wife. Ito, sweating bullets, was taken off guard by multiple things. 1, that she had become a cop, and 2, that she had joined his unit and become his partner. The last thing he noticed was that Hayasaka was still saying that he will be the wife. Itou Wataru, the apple of Hayasaka's eye, is a 30-year-old tall dog lover who, despite being the chief of police, still performs neighborhood officer duties. Ito does have one issue though, one he's unsure of how to deal with. And it was that he was the target of his subordinate's affection, Hayasaka, who never took her unblinking stare off him. She had chased him for 10 years, and now he was stuck with her. Hayasaka watched Ito happily, thinking about how much she loved him while the aura radiated from her. However, Ito thought about how she reminded him of a dog with her unconditional love, and a small smirk formed on his face. Meanwhile, Hayasaka Ito was a rookie officer that had just joined the force. She practiced kendo, and is considered a serious cool beauty, with her intense look comparable to a husky. Whenever Ito thought back to the young Hayasaka, he considered her like a lost puppy, adorable and following him around whenever she spotted him. But now he regarded Hayasaka more like an overly friendly dog that doesn't realize how big or powerful they are, as Hayasaka was often right up in Ito's face. While working with Ito, Hayasaka noticed that he had a resting grump face, as if he was stuck with a permanent stern expression that he gave to everyone he came across. But whenever he dealt with a kid, he seemed to soften up, revealing the teddy bear that he was. Unable to keep her eyes off him, or her thoughts to herself, Hayasaka felt her heart race as she called Ito so cute. As he waved off the kid, he misunderstood what Hayasaka had said and agreed that kids really are cute. Hayasaka agreed with what he said, but corrected him, saying that she was calling him cute, causing him to be surprised yet again. As they were working on their reports back at the station, Hayasaka kept staring at Ito, her vibrant eyes burning a hole into him while her cheeks were flushed red. Ito, unable to ignore it any longer, stopped writing and talked, realizing that Hayasaka seemed to be zoned out right now. Slightly frustrated, Ito asked Hayasaka if she's even listening to him right now. Snapping out of her trance-like state, she apologized, explaining that his cuteness has her mesmerized. Back when Hayasaka was younger, she searched for Ito, and once she found him, she offered him a gift. She placed a ring on his finger with the blue gem that matched her eyes. She explained that she made it in art class and it was all for him. Continuing to be surprised with whatever Hayasaka does, he complimented the ring, mentioning that it fit him perfectly. Hayasaka, with her blue eyes locked onto Ito, told him bluntly that she knows everything about him. With her blushing face firmly pointed at him, she asked him to please accept the real ring one day from her in the future. 10 years later, Ito told Hayasaka that he still remembers that moment vividly, feeling nostalgic about the memory. Hayasaka blushed to the fact that he still remembered the moment. Ito continued, blushing slightly, saying that it happened when he was a rookie, so the moment was very special to him. Even now, The ring is a precious memento of those times. Realizing that he kept her ring and found it sentimental, Hayasaka slammed her hand against the wall, crushing it and trapping Ito. He began to worry, thinking that he made her mad somehow. Meanwhile, Hayasaka was screaming inside her head that she loved Ito and that she will get him the real deal in the future and make him her wife. Back during Hayasaka's school days, her seatmate confessed to her. However, she gave him a cold look, with her eyes dull from blue to grey out of disinterest, as she explained that there's already a man in her life that she wants to marry. As she got older, taller, and more beautiful, she turned down every boy that approached her. No matter their technique or how simple or extravagant the attempt, she turned them down with a blank, expressionless face. However, when she was in love, she changed completely. Her eyes became opals full of life and colour. Her cheeks flushed, the soft pink complementing the pale blue in her eyes. Her body language became delicate and her aura sparkled with bliss. And this is what Ito got to see every time she hunted him down to speak to him, or even just watching him silently. He noticed how bright she shone in front of him, almost blinding to see. While she was with him, she had the same thought running through her head every single time she saw him. Marry me. While off duty with some friends, Ito was asked about Hayasaka since they knew that she had been chasing after him all these years. They questioned him about how it's going, while hoping that the drinks would loosen his tongue and cause him to spill his true thoughts. Understanding what they were trying to do, he told them that despite seeing Hayasaka chase him after all these years, he could never expect her to go all the way and become a police officer like him. He could picture her in his mind's eye every step of the way, including her ever-persistent promise of love. And once she appeared in the station as an officer, she had asked him again to be her wife. Picturing her locking onto him like a homing missile, he confessed that it felt like he was becoming a cornered rat in this situation. Ito's friends encouraged him to go for it. He is single, and Hayasaka has been a very earnest girl, so why not? Ito tried to explain how it feels weird. He knew her since she was in elementary school, when he was 20. Yes, she was 20 now and he was 30, but it still felt weird to him. Still not satisfied with that answer, they probed, asking for his true thoughts. He didn't hate her, right? Ito complimented Hayasaka, saying that despite her being naive, he was impressed by her endurance and strong will, finishing with the final compliment that Hayasaka is a lovely girl. Glancing away, slight sadness entering his eyes, he admitted that he wants her to find a good man to be with, someone better than an old man like him. As he looked back up, he saw that his friends were crying. He thought that they were crying because he was so gross to them. In reality, Ito's friends realized that Ito is the good man that he wants for Hayasaka, and most likely the only one that could make Hayasaka happy. Hayasaka entered the chief's office, report in hand, as she had some questions for him. However, to her surprise, she found Chief Ito asleep at his desk during the break. Standing by the door, still clutching her reports, Hayasaka wasn't sure as to what to do. Seeing Chief Ito fast asleep, an overwhelming urge took over her, and she called him Oni-chan, as a term of endearment rather than an actuality. When she first knew Chief Ito, she called him that. But now she's a 20-year-old policewoman. She shouldn't be saying things like that. However, she admitted to herself that she just wanted to say it one more time. As she was in thought, Chief Ito began to stir. Groggy from just waking up, he replied to Hayasaka like he used to, calling her Ito-chan. As he sat there silently, waking up bit by bit, he realized where he was and who was there. As everything clicked into place, Chief Ito realized that he messed up, sweating bullets. He recalled his daily greeting he had with Hayasaka as a kid, and he had just done it now despite the fact that she was a grown woman and also one of his police officers. Chief Ito, as white as a ghost, immediately began to apologize and explain himself, saying it was all an accident. Hayasaka, however, was beet red from the embarrassment, steam pouring off her and trembling to boot. While on patrol, Chief Ito greeted some people on the street that began to gush over him. They called him handsome, seeing him as if he twinkled. As they complimented him, something stopped them in their tracks. Ito, not sure why the people went silent, gave a questioning look. What he also didn't know was that Hayasaka was towering over Ito, giving a glare to those catcalling Ito, scaring the people. Continuing their patrol, Ito overheard some guys spotting Hayasaka. They commented on her cute face despite her height, and that her chest was huge, which is hot. One guy from the group decides that he'll try and hit her up for her contact info. Deciding he's heard enough from the guys drooling over Hayasaka, Ito body blocks Hayasaka, hiding her from the guys. He tries to make it casual, but it was obvious what he was doing. Hayasaka, surprised by Ito's actions, blushed and thought about how close he was to her. Due to mysterious manga circumstances, Hayasaka ended up on top of Chief Ito, papers fluttering down all around them. Ito had a stunned expression, with only a slight blush appearing on his face. Hayasaka, who's normally as blunt as a hammer, was blushing from ear to ear, while her eyes were locked onto Ito's. After what felt like an eternity, Chief Ito gently said Hayasaka's name, snapping her out of the trance that she was in. Leaping to her feet, Hayasaka apologized for accidentally pushing Chief Ito down. She explained that she didn't get up sooner because she was bewitched by Ito's cute face. Ito, being the softie that he is, blamed his carelessness for the two bumping into each other in the doorway. Hayasaka, still blushing, excused herself and left the room. As the door closed behind Hayasaka, Ito just stood there, lost in thought. He recalled Hayasaka's vibrant blue eyes and the emotions she could show so easily through them. Letting out a breath that he didn't know he was holding, he muttered to himself that more interactions like that would be bad for his heart. Back when Hayasaka was a kid, she offered Ito a gift for Valentine's Day. She pleaded with him to take the gift, but Ito was stuck, as he can technically not accept anything on the job. Panicking slightly, Ito didn't want to refuse a kid, but he knew he had to, and began to speak. However, Hayasaka cut him off, saying that she did her research and knew that policemen can't accept gifts. Ito was surprised by Hayasaka's knowledge and was left speechless. Hayasaka revealed what was in the gift, and it turned out to be a box full of letters, once again stunning Ito. Later on, Ito opened up the box of letters and was surprised by the amount of letters within. He looked through them and was happy to see them filled with Hayasaka's emotion, which led him to have an idea. The next month, Ito greeted Hayasaka and handed her a letter as a return for the letters that she had given him previously. Expecting to get a letter, Hayasaka was overwhelmed, and her one-sided love for Ito grew more from the incident. Ito was out on patrol one day and saw a granny that was in need of help. Being the good man that he is, he began to help the granny in need. What Ito didn't know was that as he carried the boxes for the granny, Hayasaka was secretly watching him from around the corner. Wanting to be big and strong to help like Ito, Hayasaka used her pocket money to buy milk whenever she could, and chugged them one after the other. Hayasaka loved to help others, and her milk consumption was helping her to grow big and strong. Every time she helped someone, she thought of Ito. While on patrol one day, two kids called out to Ito and Hayasaka, mentioning that they were police. Seeing how excited they were, Ito saluted the kids, surprising them in the best way. Hayasaka was confused by the kids' reaction, but once she saw the kids salute and Ito's salute, she knew what she had to do. Hayasaka managed to pull a perfect salute, making Ito proud and also impressing the kids. From being a lost little kid to a rookie police officer, Hayasaka always had her eyes on the prize. And her prize was the man that helped her from years ago, the man that was her target, her prey, and he was beautiful to her. As she gazed at him, she was blushing red and flustered, leaving Ito to think one thing, that some things just never change, right?